Believe it or not, this adventure starts around 5 years ago when the California golden trout first made it on my bucket list of fish I wanted to catch before I died. Although the golden trout has been spread over several western states, I knew that I wanted my first golden trout to actually be caught in its native range. Thus, the idea for the California trip was born. The more research I did, the more insane the idea of the trip became. Fishing around the highest peak in the continental US, walking through forests with some of the oldest living organisms found on Earth, and standing amongst the towering giant sequoias was just the tip of the iceberg. The challenges we had to overcome, the dangers we tiptoed around, and the pure adventure was something that neither of us could have ever been prepared for. After years of fantasizing about it and over a year of planning, Andrew and I were finally able to book our plane tickets. 12 hours later, we found ourselves down a dirt road in a national forest in the eastern Sierras. Strap in, folks, this series gets wild. Literally. Andrew, you ready?
What are we doing?
Hiking into the wilderness.
Oh.
So today we're doing something very special, something that's been on me and Andrew's bucket list for years and years and years, and that is we're in California and we are hiking into the golden trout wilderness to catch 3 different types of heritage or native trout here in California. One is the Little Kern River golden trout, which we're going to be hiking into the Little Kern River right now and fishing that today. Then tomorrow we're going to be hiking down on the Kern River and we're going to be hopefully catching the Kern River rainbow, and we're going to be hiking up the Kern River. And then the next day we're going to be fishing for the California golden trout and hopefully some of the purest strain California golden trout that you can catch. So Andrew's already digging into the snacks and we haven't even left the car yet. So this is going to be like, this is probably the most wilderness / backcountry type of thing we've done on this channel, because we're going to be approximately 20 miles back into the wilderness from the nearest road, period. When we get back in here to where we're going to be fishing for golden trout. So this is going to be an adventure and a half. But anyway, we're going to get all packed up, make sure we have everything, and start our hike.
You got a fly rod, right?
Yeah.
My reel's in there.
I hope my reel's in there. All right.
I mean,
Just got to hike over this mountain into the next drainage. Yeah, so here's the real question. Whose idea was this? But before we get too far into this video, I just wanted to let you know that this series is sponsored by Red's Flies. Red's is a family-owned small business with the goal to sell flies to help raise money for conservation. They have a variety of fly patterns such as the Tungsten Hotspot PT, the Parachute Adams, and the Tungsten Mini Leech, which are just a few of my favorites. Red's also recently rolled out a wholesale business selling flies in packs of 6 dozen meant for fly shops or guides. Ads like this help make trips like this one to California possible, because trust me, it's not cheap. So go show Red's Flies some support and get a few flies using code HFA for 15% off your next order. Now let's get back to the video. Alright guys, we have our first water stop of the day. The water clean?
I don't know.
About as clean as it could be. I mean, it's coming out of a bunch of springs on the side of the mountain.
What is gold?
What?
Look at it. That's not gold. What? Oh my gosh.
Is that gold?
It looks like it.
That is gold flakes. So there's not gold flakes?
Look
Right here. Hold on, I'm gonna get the camera, get some B-roll. Look at the gold. And every one of these little pockets.
You're paying for gold right here.
Look at that flake.
That's all kinds of gold.
What? Look at it all.
Look at all this.
What is going on over here? So the plan for this series was simple. Catch as many of California's native trout as we could in a week, which unfortunately required an immense amount of hiking. It was something that, quite honestly, neither Andrew nor I had ever attempted on this scale. And to be honest, it wouldn't be fair to not include at least some of the hiking since it was such a massive part of the trip and what made it so difficult. After almost 5 miles of hiking, we finally got our eyes on the Little Kern River and made our first few casts in California. Try to slide down here and cast from this. Of course, if I catch one, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Oh, you hit the drop fly. Oh God, got him. Do you see that? Oh, that's a good fish, dude. Real good fish. Now what? That's a gorgeous fish too. I know, dude. Wow, that's a beautiful fish. I think that's a Little Kern River Golden, I'd assume. On the dry fly too. That is so cool.
Jumping. Oh, buddy. Got him good.
Woo! Got him. Oh. Oh. Come here, buddy. Wowzers. Nymph eaters. Now some of you may be thinking, hey, that just looks like a rainbow trout. And essentially, you're right. The only real difference between the Little Kern Golden and the Kern River Rainbow is a barrier on the lower end of the Little Kern. In other words, they're essentially the same fish that have just been separated for a few thousand years. Having said that, the Little Kern Golden was supposed to exhibit some of that California golden trout type color, which we just weren't seeing. So in an attempt to catch a more vibrantly colored fish, we decided to head up a tributary. And we weren't disappointed. Oh, it came off! Alright guys, I finally caught one of these little fish in this little creek here, this little tributary. It looks like the same thing of whatever you're catching down there. Whether these are Kern River Rainbows or Little Kern Goldens, I don't know, but he doesn't look very golden.
Wait.
Good?
Yeah.
I mean, I might die here, but I just can't see what I'm stepping on. That's the problem. Oh, that was a good one too. I couldn't see my fly. It disappeared. It sucked underneath the rock. He might eat again. Oh, he's got a pink belly on him.
Maybe that's like these are actually golden too.
Like, look, he's got a red belly.
That's probably a signature sign of the Little Kern Golden, maybe.
I don't know, but look at his belly. See, that's yellow?
Oh, yeah.
That might actually be a golden.
I think it is a golden.
You guys, we might have actually found.
Well,
Not that those other fish weren't,
yeah,
but
I'm sure they were. Like that first, I think one I just caught and this one looked to be.
Yeah, and they're just gonna be more colorful up in these little tributaries too. But this one's actually like got some oomph to him. You get the shot of that? Get the stuff on his, get the yellow belly, can you see that?
Yep.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's a golden trout. I'd be shocked if that wasn't. Because they just might not have that much color this time of the year, you know?
Yeah.
I think there's a bigger one that I lost first cast, but I think if we go up through here, I think we'll catch more.
Oh, he's looking at it. Got him.
No!
Oh no, I still have it. I just...
Okay, let's just leave that. Oh, he's still there. He's sitting right there at the rock. Going back? Let's go back. There's no idea what happened.
Where's my fly?
Get it?
Well, that's a pretty one too.
Woo! I just happened to be recording and aiming right at that 58 too.
That's a gorgeous little fish.
Where? I don't know where you're looking. I can see a fish. I see him now. I see him. He's now right back where I just casted. That's not him. He's really golden though. Oh, I don't have the net. That fish is really yellow. Look at that. This fish is the most yellow of all. This thing's crazy looking. See, look how yellow that is. The one in the middle is bigger, but I'll try this one. You ready? Dude, come over here. That looks like a golden trout. This looks like an actual golden trout, kind of. I'll pull the line up and go down. Oh, here.
Oh, it's a big one.
Oh, dude, that's a huge fish. Yes, dude.
That's a giant. At least for what we're fishing. So guys, we've been fishing up this trip now for a little bit, and we finally found some big plunge pools here. And I just caught a very good size Little Kern River Golden Trout in these big plunge pools here. But this is just a beautiful fish. Really fat guy too. I mean, the belly.
Whoa, don't let him get out. After several hours of fishing and finally catching what we felt was a better representative of what a Little Kern Golden Trout was, we decided to start the hike towards where we had planned on setting up camp for our first night in the backcountry. Little did we know what would be waiting for us. Well guys, so this trail's pretty well used, obviously. We stopped here and realized that the trail we're supposed to be using is not even here. There's like a slight indentation through the brush. So no one's used this trail in a while, I guess. But if we use this trail according to Onyx, it's gonna add like a mile to our trip because it goes way around this hill. And this trail that doesn't even exist parallels and goes the ridge out and drops off. I mean, thank goodness for Onyx. As in, we could make it even without the trail probably. I mean, this is like, it's so much shorter, it's like stupid to do anything else. I'm just not happy about it. All right, guys, there's literally no trail here. We gave up, and is there an animal there? No, it's just a dead tree. We've given up, and we're just hiking in the wilderness now. There's supposed to be a trail here. It's even marked on a tree, but no one uses it or it's not maintained. So we're just following generally where the trail should be, AKA like just following the path of least resistance. And it should be once we pop over this hill and start coming down the other side, we'll hit a trail intersection that I assume will be marked pretty well. So that's our goal. Good thing we weren't standing.
Trees do make noises when they fall.
Well, at least we're standing underneath that. Don't see that too often. A lot of these look like they're about to fall. Probably should be careful where we put the tent. All right, guys, we got this. I don't even know what this is. I got 3 bean chili mac. Andrew's over there. He's got, what do you have?
Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo. That's what he eats every time. We had to eat first because we decided that we were going to starve to death if we didn't. We don't have the tent up. I'm just sitting on my little sleeping pad. We got some water and we're eating, and then hopefully that'll give us enough energy to then put this tent together. All right, guys, so we're sitting here about ready to put up the tent, and Andrew looks over and he's like, bear! And there's like a really big black bear, like a really good sized black bear. He was walking up this little ravine here that we actually walked up earlier. And I told Andrew, these green fields behind us, we've seen bear poop walking all through here, but these green fields behind us are exactly what these bears like to eat at. I don't know if this is a fresh burn, but it's been burned at some point. And because of that, it's got all these green cover down low, and there's just meadows down here in general. And we've been seeing bear poop, and I told Andrew, like, there's probably some bears in here. And we saw one, which is cool, but also we're gonna have to make sure that we don't leave any food out, and that we put the food that is here, we're gonna put a ways away from camp, so that we don't get rudely awoken in the middle of the night, because that's a bear big enough that you don't want to tangle with it. Not that you want to tangle with any bears, but...
No, honestly, it might just loop around and go up further, because it's just kind of paralleling us now up halfway up the hill.
I would not be shocked if we see that bear in the morning in the meadow or something. Anyway, it's pretty cool, but we're going to get this tent set up here and maybe get to go to bed. Although I don't know how we're going to sleep now. I'm not going to lie, seeing a bear walk into camp before the tent was even up was a little unnerving. Not that I'm specifically scared of bears, I see them decently often out east, but being in unfamiliar ground and knowing you aren't the only predator in the woods gives you a bit of hesitation. Not only that, but the mountain lion tracks outnumbered any boot prints we had seen by a wide margin. In other words, we had found ourselves 11 miles deep in the middle of a predator-rich environment, all for one little piece of California gold. Needless to say, we didn't sleep all that well on night number 1.